Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history destination genre of black music, right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a very special guest on my show. Now, this lady that I'm about to introduce to you is a singer, a songwriter, a record entrepreneur, and an actress. She is an independent artist who has her own label called Aldreamer Records. I got a chance to check out her videos on YouTube, whether it's love and relationships or an inspirational message. So please help me welcome to my Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I bring you today's hip hop and R&B recording artist, Aldreamer, aka Miss Peaches. Hi, Aldreamer. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. How you enjoy the introduction?
I loved it. Thank you.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, thank you. Like I said, I don't know how should I pronounce you. Should I call you Miss Smith or Peaches or Aldrima? I just look at these stage names and like saying, who should I call this person?
well, actually, Peaches was not a stage name. It was a nickname that was given at birth. So when I got into the professional world of music, they just added the Miss to the Peaches. Um, so I go by Peaches. I go by Al Dreamer, of course, because Al Dreamer, that's my birth name. That's what my father named me. And either one, I'm okay with Al Dreamer and I'm okay with Peaches. I'm even okay with Miss Peaches. Um, it's all the same person.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I get everything right because, when I hear these weird names, I'm like, who should we call her or who should we call him? But
Yeah.
anyway, it's a pleasure to have you here on my podcast. So, the world doesn't know who you are, America doesn't know who you are. This is my first time interviewing you. So, we would like to get to know you. So, let us begin. Now, where were you born?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. How far is Baton Rouge from New Orleans?
Depending on where you are in Baton Rouge, but it's about a 45 minute ride. Yeah,
Mhm.
not far at all.
Okay. Now, were your parents in the music industry or did they had 9 to 5 day jobs?
They had 9 to 5 day jobs, but my adult life, I found out a secret that my dad had held out from me and my siblings. He was once in a band, and we never knew anything about it. And we knew that he could sing because my father was a pastor, a minister, and he would lead praise service at church when we was growing up in church. But he never told us about that side before he got saved. That he was in a band and they were really getting popular, like in the town or in the area that he was from. My dad is he's from New Orleans, and but he would travel or he would sometimes stay with his grandmother who lived in like a really small country town outside of Baton Rouge, and that's how he met my mom. But yeah, he was in a band, so all we knew growing up was that we had two working parents. They worked I don't even want to call it 9 to 5 because my dad was a workaholic. So he was jack of all trades. So he worked a 9 to 5, but he also was an electrician, certified mechanic. So yeah, and my mom, she just
Okay.
she just
Oh,
worked a
okay.
nine to
Well,
five.
well, yeah. Well, I'm a church deacon myself, and I come from my late father's lineage that represents the ministry, the media, education, and politics. So,
Okay,
whatever rank you're in a church, whether you're a deacon or trustee, and we
right,
all have our day jobs, whether you're a carpenter or if you work in the bank or any other day job, we still belong to whatever church that we belong to. We always work for the Lord.
right.
Now, which high school did you go to?
I went to a really good high school that's called Glen Oaks High, in Baton Rouge. Um, Very popular school in Baton Rouge. So yeah, went there all 4 years and graduated.
Hmm. And which college did you go to?
Several, several, several. Of course, straight out of high school, I went to like a surrounding college, which was Southern University. So I went to Southern University for a semester, not even the full year. And I wasn't ready for college. I just enjoyed the college life, the partying. I was so close to home. And then I went to another college in Louisiana, in Lafayette, Louisiana. And at that time, it was called USL, University of Southeastern Louisiana. But now they've changed the name like twice, I believe. So I'm not sure what it's called now. And then I left from a physical location and went to school online, University of Phoenix and Strayer, and that's where I got my degree from Strayer University.
Now, since you have went to different colleges, what was your major in colleges on the colleges that you mentioned?
Always administration, business administration. It was never anything like tied to my gift. Um, I Yeah, I went for business administration. I had also went to, I forgot to leave this one out. It was one that my dad, like my sister, she's a doctor now, but at the time she was going to school for nursing. She's always wanted to be a nurse. So at a point in my life when I was like, I really didn't know what I wanted to get out of college. My dad suggested, why don't you go to school and for medical like your sister? I did it, but I did it on the administrative side, which was healthcare administration. So I stayed in the administration side, and that's what ended up becoming my concentration, healthcare management in business administration.
Oh, I see you majoring in business. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about that later on. Now, who did you want to be when you grow up?
Entertainment has always been my thing. That's always been my passion from a small girl. Throughout school, high school, I was always in every program, acting and singing. And of course, I did a lot of writing. Like I wrote my first song at 8 years old, and it wasn't like a kitty little song. Um, so I was in my gift like at a very early age, and that's all that I ever wanted to be, was a singer, actress, songwriter. That was my passion. That was my goal.
Was being a singer and being a songwriter your calling?
I believe, because I do believe when the Bible says that your gift will make room for you. Um, And I once heard Steve Harvey one time talking, and he was saying like that one thing that you don't have to go to school for it. Nobody has to teach it to you. That one thing that, God has given you, that's the thing that you should be pursuing. And that makes a lot of sense because writing is not something that anyone has ever had to teach me. Like, and I don't want to limit it to songwriting because I write poems, I can write scripts. So for me, writing is my greatest or greater gift, even though I'm blessed to be able to sing as well. I think at this point, I'm more passionate about writing than I am singing, um, simply because of what comes along with being the singer and the writer, or being the singer, not even so much the writer. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, please tell us about your name, Aldreamer, or Madam Aldreamer, and what does your name, or how should we call you as?
Um, Aldreamer is from my dad. My dad named me. I don't even know what the meaning of the name is, but I do know where he got the name. He went to high school with someone. Her name was Aldremia, and he liked the name, and he wanted to name me after her. Uh, Her name ends in MIA. My name ends in MER. He told the nurses Aldremia, but they put Aldreamer on the birth certificate, and he allowed them to keep it like that. And um, so that's been who I am um, as a person, and that's my government name. Um, I recently added the madam to it, and that's because I looked up the definition one time, because I wanted to add something to it outside of just Aldreamer. And when I looked up the meaning of, well, one of the meanings, it depends on how you pronounce it, madam, but it was somebody um, who is active in the arts. That was one of the definitions, and I never knew that, and I was like, wow, okay, so that's what I'll put in front of it, Madam Aldreamer. And I mean, I think at this point I am so mature, should I say, and confident, because I did not at one time, like, nobody would call me Aldreamer growing up. Everybody called me Peaches. Everybody around me called me Peaches. My dad is the only person that will call me Aldreamer, and I might have a teacher that would call me Aldreamer. Um, and maybe a few friends, but I was so used to Peaches to where Aldreamer, I was like, no, I don't like that name at first when I was younger, but now I've just grown to love it so much, the uniqueness of it and the difference of it, to where Aldreamer is definitely my preference. Um, and I'm okay with, as far as in the arts and entertainment world, being Aldreamer.
Now, how would you describe your music? Is it gospel, southern soul, or today's hip hop and R&B?
Um, I don't I don't like boxes, to be put in a box. As far as, I don't want to label myself as just something, because um I'm able to not only write in any genre, on any type of, um whether it's gospel, whether it's southern soul. Like, I write blues songs, I write country music. So I don't really put myself in a box as to say that I'm this particular type of artist, because, like Louisiana is known for gumbo, I'm like a gumbo artist. I do it all. And I put it all out. I have gospel songs out. I have R&B and hip hop and rap and soul, and I even have country music that I never released. But um so I do it all. So I would more so put myself in an alternative um, genre to where that, or the singer songwriter genre, to where anything that I do is just music, and um, wherever it fits, that's where it fits, but I don't fit in any particular category.
Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite hip hop and R&B and classic soul artists?
Of course, Whitney Houston. As a little girl, I was crazy about Whitney Houston. I also was a huge fan of one of CC Peniston, and I don't know if you remember CC Peniston, but I loved CC Peniston as an artist. My favorite artist, singer of all time is Charlie Wilson. I am the biggest Charlie Wilson fan. Not only from him vocally, but just the story of his life as a person, and as an artist, and how he was able to come back to the industry with the same powerful voice that he has. So he's my favorite. Mariah Carey, um, Anita Baker, Regina Bell, um, a lot of gospel artists, the Clark sisters, um, Commission, Fred Hammond, John P. Key. So really a different artists, different genres. I would listen to Brian McKnight. I would listen to a lot of people and consider them like they're really dope artists, and I like them. But if I had to pick a top, it would be Charlie Wilson and Whitney Houston, and CC Peniston is on Whitney Houston's tail. So
Now, who were your musical influences that had inspired you to sing?
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, and growing up in church, I was a part of a group. We were called Faith, and we would do a lot of the Clark sisters songs, and I can't even think of it's another group as well, female group that we would do a lot of the Anointed Pace Sisters. Um, we would sing a lot of their music, so um, those were like people that I would, I guess, inspire to be like in the music world. So,
Now, before you got into the music industry, did you work at a day job? And if so, what kind of day job did you work for?
many. I got my first job at like 14. I've always been like I don't want to say hustler, but I've always been one that wanted to make money. Um, so the majority of my jobs um, were retail. My mom, she worked retail all her life, and she retired retail. So my beginning in the workforce was retail. And then I started moving into more so business office jobs and clerical jobs, secretaries, call centers, things like that. And that's kind of where I stayed in the administrative, clerical side of the, whatever industry it would be in, whether it was retail. I just moved from retail, being a retail worker, to being in the human resource side of it, the clerical side of it. So office work is a bulk of my work history outside of doing music.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you sung in the church choir. What church did you belong to, and what was the name of your church choir? Was it like a children's choir or a young adult choir?
Well, we had different choirs. The name of the church that I grew up in and my mother still attends to this day is called the Church of God, and it is in Baton Rouge, and it's uh, on Ozark Street. Um, but we had different choirs. We had a youth choir, we had a young adult choir, we had a regular adult choir, which sometimes a lot of times the youth would sing in the adult choir. But we was notorious for a choir. Our church has different branches in different locations, and we combined all the choirs and would have what we called a state choir. It was called the Louisiana State Choir. We actually had the opportunity to perform on the Bobby Jones Gospel Show, um, and it was an awesome experience. Our choir director was Ronald Perry, and he was man, he was a musical genius. Um, but yeah, so it was the Church of God Choir and then the Louisiana State Choir.
Now, you was on the No Limit record label, which was founded by Master P. Did you have your records on that record label, or you were just a background recording artist?
Uh, I wouldn't call it a background recording artist. I would more so. I was signed to the label. Um, so I would say more say a featured artist because I left before I had the opportunity to put out my own album. Um, but any song that I recorded on um, would be main vocals of the song, not so much background vocals of the song, if that makes any sense. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I would do a lot of hooks, and if
Let's
not
talk
hooks,
about.
I do a lot of verses. I'm sorry.
Oh, oh, okay. Yes. Now, let's talk about your record label, Aldreamer Records, and which have you founded? And please tell us about your record label. What's it all about?
Um, I had been putting out music independently for a while, um, without a package of a label name, should I say. And one of the former producers of No Limit Records, Donald XL, he went by XL back then, and now he does Donald XL Productions. He and I have kept in contact all these years, and I work with him a lot. And he advises me on music, and one of the things that he advised me on was to create your own record label to put your music out on. Don't just be an independent artist without having a label behind it, even though it's an independent label. And uh, actually, he's the one that said, "Well, why don't you do Aldreamer Records? I mean, it sounds nice. It has a ring to it." And I went with that. So the more recent music that I've released it up under my own label, Aldreamer Records.
How long was your record label was in existence?
It hasn't been a very long time. I want to say I started it in 2022.
Okay. Now, as a singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur of your own record label, was it easy or was it hard being on your own, like having your own business?
It is definitely hard, the independent route. Um, the in Not just as an artist, but putting when you're the independent artist and you're the CEO of your independent label, you really is just one because you're still that one person. So everything that you're doing, um, it's just you. If you don't have a team, you're doing all of your when it comes to uh, not just being the artist, being the singer and the songwriter, but also finding your own production. Um, and everything is financially you. So whether it's production, photo shoots, video shoots, marketing, promotions, uh, any and everything that you can think of that comes along with the artist that's signed to a label. And the label is putting um, millions of dollars behind these artists on a much smaller scale. The independent artist is taking like baby steps because I don't have those resources to be able to um, pay as much as some um, of your big platforms, should I say, your entertainment platforms, would charge for you to do your promotion. So of course, it is definitely it is hard when it's just like I work. Um, Outside of being an artist, I work, and not only do I work, I mean I have a real life, so I have real bills, and then I'm also still pursuing what my passion, so everything that I do is being funded and financed by me. Um, and of course, that makes it much more difficult, which is why your independent artists who remain independent and do not sign label deals, they have it much harder than, of course, than someone who has a label that they're signed to.
Mhm. Now, you were one time an actress. Now, as an actress, did you appear in many independent movies, or did you appear in many specials or shows on CBS, NBC, or ABC, or Fox, or many of the other cable networks on FX or Lifetime?
No, I have not yet. I wanna say yet because that is something definitely that I desire to, not so much a specific network, but to more so get back into acting. Um, the majority of my acting came through like school and college and being in stage plays and things like that, and competing in competitions. I've won like state competitions, acting in school plays and things like that. I have had the opportunities of playing extra roles in certain movies when I was still living in Louisiana, and of course the movie industry, when they came and did a lot of filming after Katrina. I would do extra roles, which they weren't speaking roles, but movies like Girls Trips and things like that, I was able to, um, you know, feature in that as an extra, and a couple of more movies that have come out, movies that's come going to the movie theater. I may have been in and when you're an extra, you may not always see yourself on the scene. You're just there to fill in the spaces. And Girls Trip was actually one I was actually able to see myself being an extra in. But my goal is to one day. Um, Continue to pursue the acting thing because I think I was a really good actress.
Now, I got a chance to check out your audio videos on YouTube, which songs, which includes Today Was a Good Day under your name, I'm Aldreamer, Eyes for You under your name, Aldreamer, and Type of a Woman, Madam Aldreamer. I got a chance to check it out, especially the one that I like, Today Was a Good Day. I was thinking about the one that you did a remake from Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day.
Mhm. Yeah. That I don't even know what or I'm not gonna say I don't know what, but like that song wasn't planned. And honestly, I don't even remember how I came about to do that one, but that's one of my bigger songs that as far as um getting royalties and stuff from that particular song, I get a good amount of love on that song. So
Mm. Yeah, so like I said, I love that song from rapper
thank
Ice
you.
Cube. He sampled the song from the Isley Brothers, and I even got a chance to see his video. It was kind of like
Right.
a continuation onto the next song,
Uh
but
huh.
I love that one as well.
Thank you.
Now, who were your favorite artists that you had collaborated with?
Um. Ooh. Um. Of course, the majority of my collaborations have been with rappers, because I was signed to a basically No Limit Records was a rap label by Master P. Um, I enjoyed working with every artist that I work with. Um, I think if I had, because I don't have one that I'm like, oh, that was my, like, I don't know. I enjoyed working with them all, but I don't want it to sound the wrong way. I have not yet worked with the artist or an artist that I can actually say like, wow, I actually had the opportunity to work with this person, and this is, like it's more so a goal or a certain level of accomplishment for me. I am proud to say that um, Lil Romeo's first single, the Michael Jackson remake, the My Baby song, I think that particular song um, is one that I am honored to have been the voice on that song, because of the level of greatness that song attained, and also the fact that it was a Michael Jackson song and he knew the song. So, working with Rome, even though he was a little boy at that time, I think that so far that is the one that I can actually say it's bragging right for me. At the most. But my list of desires of artists that I want to work with on a not even so much a feature level, on a songwriting level. Um, that's to come.
Now, here's a question I always ask my guests: living or dead, which artist that you wish you wanted to meet or to perform with?
To meet Michael Jackson. Um, being that the song that I just mentioned was actually performed at one of his anniversary shows before they did like a I don't know if it was the 24th, 25th anniversary or something for Michael Jackson, but they actually performed that song without me, of course. And I just would have been so honored to be able to meet that's Michael Jackson. So I would have been, and for him to be able to put the face with the voice that was able to recreate his sound. So that would have been an honor. And an artist that I would love to work with that's still alive, Jasmine Sullivan. I am a huge Jasmine Sullivan fan, and also Usher. I have a song that I wrote for Usher, and I'm so determined to work with him as well. But um, I would love to meet Charlie Wilson in person. I've been to a couple of concerts. Um, um, and of course Whitney. I would have loved to just meet her. Not even it didn't have to be music wise, but just to meet her, because of the impact that she had on me as a child.
Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who are the top 10 R&B black artist of all time. Now, here's how it works. It's like a top 10 countdown. We start at number 10, who is the best singer but didn't get any recognition. Then we work our way up to number 1, who is the number 1 artist of all time. That artist received so many top 10 hits, number 1 hits. Did it receive a platinum, multi-platinum, or diamond platinum? That artist won an American Music Award or a Grammy Award or a Soul Train Award or a BET Award or been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that artist performed on American Bandstand or Soul Train or the Midnight Special or Saturday Night Live or Solid Gold or many other local dance shows. So, Aldreamer, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Ooh,
So
because
I
10
know
is
you
a lot.
mentioned some of the names. Okay.
10 is a
So
lot.
we're going to start at number 10. So who should be at number 10?
Hmm. Number 10. Um, hmm. And they didn't get their accolades the way that they should have.
Hmm. Ah, yes, Cece Peniston that we just mentioned earlier. She made her debut back in 1991 with her hits Finally, We've Got a Love Thing, and many other dance hits. Let me tell you, those were some of the best dance tune ever, but
Yes.
still, she didn't get any recognition, so we can put CC Peniston at number 10. All right, who should be at number 9?
Number 9. Uh, Link. Um, I don't know if you're too familiar with Link, but Link did a lot of R. Kelly, a lot of music with R. Kelly, and Link has an album from back in the day, back in the 90s, that is like, it is super dope. Uh, and I don't know whatever happened to him. It was just like he just disappeared from the music scene, but Link was really dope.
Link. Okay, I never heard of him, but hopefully I'll find him on
He's
YouTube.
dope. He's dope. Yeah.
Okay, who? Yes, who should be at number 8?
Uh oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. I can only think of his song. Um is it Rome that I'm thinking of?
Oh,
Uh
Rome.
yeah.
Oh, so that's the artist Rome, as in Rome,
Yes.
Italy. Okay,
Yes, his name was
okay.
Rome. He had a
Uh huh.
huge he had a really huge song on the radio. Um he had a really huge song on the radio. Uh but he didn't do what I believe he should have done as an artist. And I'm kind of digging back because I'm thinking about songs from back in the day that I an artist from back in the day that as I got older it's like I'm not hearing them no more, and they should still be relevant. They should still be on the music scene because um they were huge at a time where some of the artists that are still relevant today they were just as good, just as talented, if not more talented. So
Okay, so we'll put Rome at number 8. All right, who should be at number 7?
Tony Terry.
Ah, Tony Terry. So we haven't heard from him in a while. He came out
Yes,
back in the early 90s.
yes,
Some of his hits, but not that getting that much recognition. So
right.
Tony Terry, a couple of his hits back in the early 90s. So I know we're all wondering whatever happened to Tony, and
Right.
hopefully we'll hear from him real soon.
Right.
All right, who should be at number six?
Um, I'm putting him at this person at number six. He came to be a huge artist in the music industry, but I think the beginning artistry of him was so slept on. So I'm gonna put him at six. Jamie Foxx. Um,
Ah, the one and only Jamie Foxx. We all
yes,
knew him from In Living Color on Fox,
right,
created some of his characters. He's an actor, comedian, and singer.
yes,
Oscar winning actor. He portrayed the late Ray Charles, 1994. He won an Oscar for that role portraying Ray Charles. He done it pretty well. So Jamie
yes.
Foxx, he's still doing hits.
But the
Blaming
old,
on the
like,
alcohol.
yes, and see, that's the now Jamie Foxx. Like, I'm a huge music head. So Jamie Foxx had an album called Peep This. Peep This came out in the 90s. I was such a huge Jamie Foxx fan back then, but sometimes I wish he would reintroduce that Jamie Foxx, because even though we know he can sing and he can act, that Jamie Foxx was the more so. We kind of have the like hip hop R&B Jamie Foxx now. That Jamie Foxx on Pete This was the more so of the romance, and it was it's the old school R&B, and I a lot of people don't know about that Jamie Foxx. So I think that Jamie Foxx sound and everything should, and that album in particular, Peak This, should be something that everybody who appreciates good music should listen to. I think that he should have gotten the recognition back then from what he created back then, and it took some time for him to catch up with what's more relevant now before they actually start appreciating his musical talents. So,
Okay, so we'll have Jamie Foxx at number six. Okay, who should be at number five?
number five. Um, I don't want to minimize it to one person because a group came to my mind. And it's my favorite group of all times, and it's Jagged Edge. Um, I think Jagged Edge
Oh.
is the one of that's one of my favorite groups, um, singing groups of all times. Um,
Mm.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm a huge
Jagged
Jagged Edge
Edge,
fan.
one of the groups.
Yes,
Yeah, came out in the late 90s into the 2000s. Most of the DJs at the clubs, they'll play one of their songs.
right.
Yeah, so Jagged Edge, we'll put them at number five. All right, who should be at number four?
Hmm. Um. Okay, so now the artist that I'm actually, before I get into the ones that are getting their recognition, I'm going to say Kiki Wyatt. I am the biggest Kiki Wyatt fan, and she's another one that I will go back to as far as her first album. It's back late 90s, early 2000. Another album that was super 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 dope. Um, vocally she is just like, yeah, she is unmatched on so many levels vocally. I honestly do not feel like she gets the recognition that she should get. I think the image that's put forth in reality shows um kind of takes the focus off of who she is as an artist and her vocal skills, because I'll put her up against some of the best, and yeah, she'll dominate it.
Oh yes, Kiki White. Like you said, she came on the scene late '90s, early 2000s. She's best remembered for doing duet with Avant,
Yes.
remake of Renee and Angela's "My First Love," and so many other songs that Kiki
Hmm.
had collaborated with Avant. All
Yes.
right, who should be at number three?
Number three. Um, hmm. Well, number three, I will say she does get her. She has gotten so many of her recognition and rewards, but I would love to hear more of her today, simply because she is so talented. I would say Brandy. Um,
Ah,
Brandy
yes,
is, yeah,
Brandy.
I kind of hate to see that she's more so sidelined, even though she may pop up on the scene every now and then. I just think that her talent is so amazing that it should be one that continues, kind of like Usher, you know, continuing to reintroduce herself.
All right, we can put Brandy at number three. So the only Brandy that I knew back in the '90s, she started out as an actress. She starred in the ABC short-lived series Thea, which starred comedian Thea Vidal.
Hmm.
That was out in 1993, and then a year later, I was watching a video on BET, and Brandy, Brandy, the same Brandy from that show Thea. Wow, I did not know that Brandy can sing. So Brandy
Right,
had her
wow.
debut hit "I Wanna Be Down" from her debut LP. Had
Hmm.
other hits called "Baby," another one "Broken Hearted" duet with Boys to Men, and
Hmm.
also "Best Friend." And she had some other hits duet with Monica, "The Boy Is Mine," and she had appeared on another TV show we all knew, Moesha,
Moesha.
on
Yep.
UPN, now the CW, and other movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Part 2. And she made some appearances on other shows, including Star, which was on Fox that had Queen Latifah on there. And,
Right.
so many things. So she won an American Music Award and a Grammy Award for favorite R&B, soul artist, and everything. And her little brother,
Great day.
Rare Willie Noah Jr., better known as Ray J.
Right.
Yes, yeah, all in the family. So Brandy will be at number three. All right, who
Yeah.
should be at number two?
Ah, ooh, it's getting tough. Um, I am going to put Jasmine Sullivan at number two. Uh, and it's tough putting her at number two, but I'm going to put Jasmine Sullivan at number two. Jasmine Sullivan is one of the dopest songwriters and vocalists and arranger to arrange, um, because that takes a special talent to be able to actually arrange the songs that you write and the songs that you sing. Jasmine Sullivan is, yeah, she's at the top. She's at the top of my list. As an
Oh,
artist and a songwriter. Yes.
all right. Philadelphia's own Jasmine Sullivan, number two. When I first heard this girl back in the mid 2000s, I thought she was from the Caribbean. When she had her
With the,
debut song, Need You
mhm,
Bad, I
yep,
was like, oh, is she from Jamaica or something? When I first heard this song, you know, we thought that she was from Jamaica, West Indies, but I did not know that she was from Philly. And she
right.
had some other songs, Bust Your Windows Out Your Car, and then our other song, Lions and Tigers and Bears. I was
All
thinking about the
everything.
movie The Wizard of Oz, Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my.
Right.
Oh, she just
Yeah.
twisted it around
Yes.
and did some other songs, and her latest one was Feelings. Oh my goodness. Don't
Yes.
forget to come and pick up your feelings.
Yeah, she is. She's super dope. Super dope. Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Who should be at number one?
Oh my. I'm gonna give number one to Whitney.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
yes, gotta give it to Whitney. And it was hard choosing between Whitney and Charlie,
Mhm.
but I'll give it to Whitney because there'll never be another Whitney.
All
Yeah,
right. The one
we'll
and
never get
only
another
Whitney
Whitney.
Houston, the princess of pop. She came on the scene back in 1984, duet with the late Teddy Pendergrass, Hold Me in Your Arms. And then she went out on her own, her debut LP, her self titled debut LP, won a Grammy Award for Best New
Yep.
Artist. She won an American Music Award. Her debut LP went platinum, sold over 1 million copies in print. She had hits You Give Good Love, How Will I Know, Saving All My Love for You, and the
Uh,
remake of The Greatest Love of All. All
yes.
those four songs were number one hits on
Yep.
Billboard Hot 100 Pop Singles charts non-stop. I'm telling you, she had done it all. She can sing. She had other hits. Love Will Save the Day. I Will Always Love You, the remake from
Every
Dolly Parton.
on and
And
on.
also Waiting to Exhale. I mean,
Yep.
she appeared in Waiting to Exhale and the remake of The Preacher's Wife. Everything. She made some TV appearances here and there. Hands down. She
Yeah.
is the daughter of Miss Sissy Houston, and her cousin is Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick. Coming from East Orange, New Jersey, we would
Yep.
never knew that this young lady had the pipes of
Right.
everything. So rest in
Right.
peace to the princess of pop and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2020, the one and only Miss Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Well, Aldreamer, it is a pleasure to interview you on my Black Soul Music Experience podcast. It was worth the wait. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with me on my
Thank you for
podcast.
having
And
me.
and please come on back. We want to welcome you and hear more about you.
Will do.
And
Will
we'd
do.
love to see you again.
Thank
Alrighty,
you.
now where thank and you welcome. Now where can we follow you for any upcoming events and where can we follow you on social media?
Well, I do have my own website for my label, which is www.aldreamerrecords.com. You can follow me on Instagram, um, TikTok, um, Instagram and TikTok, and I believe it's just Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Miss Peaches for real, four being the number four. Miss Peaches for real, and you can also find me on other platforms such as YouTube and things like that under Al Dreamer. Um, and where you find one, you'll find the others because I have them all tied in together.
Okay, thanks for the quick plug. Download all the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. And make sure you follow Aldreamer. She's going to aldreamerrecords.com. Follow her on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and you can catch all of her videos streaming online right now on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this interview, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S at the end, dash studio.
Hmm.
And yes, we'll be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And make sure you please pass the word. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s-studio. And don't forget to check out my audio podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. You can leave your feedbacks, comments, and replies by visiting my Facebook homepage. Go to facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. You can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, parting, remember this: reach for the top, and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care. God bless. Thanks for listening. Have a good week, and please be safe.